Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing a review and an overview of these two commuter scooters. These are kind of a budget scooter. I got both of these on Amazon. These are both the exact same price. The orange one here on the right is the Segway Ninebot ES1L. On the left is the black and white one is the Gotrax GLX V2. So they're very similarly priced scooters, and I feel that they're both great scooters, but I want to go through and kind of give some thoughts, pros and cons of each one. If I had to choose one, which one would it be? Okay, for starters, one of the reasons why I have these scooters is, one, my son rides this one to school. He's a 12-year-old boy. He really likes this Segway Ninebot. This Gotrax one I got both of them basically. We have two Teslas, and within a mile to a mile and a half of my house, I have a public charging station that are free. And so what I like to do, if my car's completely empty on battery, I'll go to the public charging station, take the scooter, put it in the trunk, drive home, and charge my car for free. So I like having the scooter to be able to fold up and put in my car. So these have been fun to even just for around the neighborhood. I could even doing short trips under a couple miles, they've been great with. So let's talk about this Segway Ninebot to start off with here. The Segway Ninebot. One thing that's interesting with this is I can't get it out of kilometers per hour. I don't know how to change it to miles per hour, but it only goes 20 kilometers per hour is the max speed, which is just about like 12 miles per hour. So this one is a little slower. The Gotrax will go a little faster. So just know that this one's a little bit slower of a scooter. The battery life, though, I feel is a little bit better in this one than the other one. And the battery meter, I really like that it has this bar here. It's showing all these different bars, so you really know what state of your battery is. Furthermore, when you're charging it, it tells you the actual percentage of what the battery life is, so you know exactly how much it is to charge it up, how much you've used. Also, one thing I probably don't like is the handlebars are kind of close here, so to be a little more stable, I'd like it if these handlebars were a little bit wider. The Gotrax have a little bit wider. As an adult, I feel a little more comfortable on the Gotrax than this one. But I do like the fact that it has very easy to use controls, as far as this is the throttle here on the right. The left is an electronic brake. It also has a foot brake on the back, so you can push down on this back part. This is actually a manual brake. So you've got brake there, and then this is an electronic brake that uses the motor to brake the front wheel. The battery's in this front tube here, and this has a little bit smaller of a tire than the Gotrax has a little higher tire. One thing I like about this, though, is these tires are solid core tires, so there's no air in them, so you can't pop them with anything. You can't run over a weed patch and pop these, which I really like. But it does make for a little stiffer ride. It does have a little suspension thing in the front here under a hard, you hit a pothole or a curb or something, you go off it, it'll recoil a little bit. It's not helping a whole lot. It's not like a mountain bike shock or anything. It's just, I think it's a stiff spring that at least allows that. So at least there's something to help dampen the ride, but it does provide for a little stiffer ride than the air-filled tires on the Gotrax. So overall, I like the Segway. My son, who's 12, who rides this regularly to school, he really likes it. As an adult, I feel like I like the speed of the other one. Of the Gotrax goes a little faster. This one only goes, like I said, 12.5 miles an hour. So if this had a little bit bigger tires, a little more cushioned ride, and a little bit faster, I feel that this would kind of have the advantage. One thing that I really like that this has, this front headlight is a lot better than the Gotrax. So if you're doing any night riding, this light is perfectly shines down onto the ground. I'll do some night riding tests here so you can kind of see that. But the light is far superior on the Segway than it is the Gotrax. Okay, now the Gotrax, this seems to be one of the more popular ones on Amazon, and it does fold down well. I like that the wheels, it has a bigger wheel and tire, but they are pneumatic. They're air-filled tires, so you can pop these. You run over something sharp, or like a thorn or a nail or something, you can get these tires popped, and you'll be changing a tire, which I don't know how that will work. I don't know how easy that's going to be. especially with the motor being in this the front wheel here. So that could be a challenge. That could be a con to this. This also has cable actuated brakes, so they're not hydraulic, they're cable actuated with a disc brake. I like the electric brake on the Segway a little better than this, but I feel like this is upgradable. If I wanted to upgrade this to a hydraulic brake instead of cable actuated, I think that could be an option on this. This has a little bit wider of a handlebar grip. I like the handlebars on this one a little better. And this does have a cruise control. Now the cruise control isn't super helpful because you have to maintain the speed for almost 10 seconds in order for the cruise to engage. So the only time the cruise really is helpful is if you're full throttle all the way down for 10 seconds, it will then engage. It's hard to engage it at a slower speed. If you want to do like 10 or 12 miles an hour, it's very hard to get the speed, exactly that speed for the 10 seconds required. Also, it does have kind of like a brake handle lever here like you'd find on a bicycle. It feels kind of cheap. This kind of wobbles a little bit because it's cable actuated. It just doesn't have that really soft feel that a hydraulic brake does. So I prefer the braking on the other one with just a little lever here. And even for an adult, this lever does feel like there is some effort in order to go from this position to reaching out. So know that the handlebars are a little bit wider. I do like a little bit wider handlebar. It brings a little more stability, and they do include a little kind of a bell on here, which that's kind of cool. One thing also on the battery meter, so we turn it on here. The battery meter only gives you 4 bars, so I don't feel like I have as much of a indication of where the battery life is on this one because there's only 4 bars. I don't feel like the battery gauge is as accurate as on the Segway. So that's kind of one of the negatives. This one does have a 2-step process to release it. You pull this red lever and then you pull this red one back, and then the front part will fold down. It latches here and you can pick it up and heavy. It's still fairly heavy. If you had to pick that up and carry it onto a train or down a subway or something, I mean it's going to be a little bit of a it's going to be some weight to carry, but definitely doable if you're commuting with this. So overall, I like the GoTrax. I wish the light was better. This front headlight is not very good at all. The Segway has the best light of the two. I feel if I was going to use this regularly as like riding at night, if I was riding at night regularly, I would need to add some kind of an external headlight to illuminate the ground better. And I'll show you how that works as we go out and test these at night. Okay, it is night out. I'm going to do a little test of the light here, but I do want to point out you do have to manually kick the scooter to go. Like you have to get going. You've got to kick with your feet to get the scooter going in order for the throttle to engage. So it won't just go from a dead standstill. You have to be coasting in order for the engine to engage here. So we push the button here. We turn our headlight on. We'll go somewhere where it's a little darker. Okay, we'll see if we can get a good shot of the light here. So this is a little darker area right here. It feels like the light shines up too high. I don't get a good view of what's going on in the ground as much. I want to see like if there's obstacles or cracks or bumps or rocks. I don't feel like I get that view with this scooter. It feels like it's a little more dim while I'm riding there. So that's kind of the light there. Let's go down here where it's a little... I'm going to cruise down here where it's a little darker. Okay, you see that? You can kind of see there. It's not very bright on the road immediately in front of me, and I would really like it if it was. And I'm going to show you on the Segway how their light is a lot better. But it's doable. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing a lot of long rides in the dark. I would want an external light on this, as you kind of can tell here. Here's my mile per hour gauge. As I have my thumb down, you can kind of see. As you can see, the speed kind of jumps just based on how much you're putting the throttle down, what the terrain is like. So it's really hard to keep it consistent to activate that cruise control. So I've got to have, let's see, okay, so I'm activated at 8 miles an hour now. The cruise is on right now. And let's see, let's get this light shining here. Okay, you can kind of see the light there. All right, let's go back and test out the Segway, and I want to show you a comparison of the light on that one. Okay, we're on the Segway, the Ninebot. We're going to take this for a spin, and I want to show you the headlight here. So to turn it on, we just hold down the power button for a second. Oh, that turned it off. Okay, back on. We've got our battery meter here. Okay, there we go. You just push it once more. Our light's on. So this is one of the advantages to the Segway. I like the light on this one better. Let's go get out. Let's get out into the dark here, and I'll show you. Whoa. Okay, you can see here. So it shines about 5 to 6 feet right in front of you, and it's very bright right in that area. So where I'm going to be traveling, you can see how good that light is. And I can see any obstacle. I can see if there's a rock or a pothole or a crack or something I need to avoid. I can see that very well, and I feel that's a great advantage to this scooter versus the GoTrax. But the good thing is if you go with the GoTrax, it is remediable in that you can just strap on a different light, external light to it, and you've got, you know, a little better lighting. But out of the box, I think the Segway does a better job at the lighting. And you can tell it's a significant difference. I feel very comfortable riding this at night because I can see, let's see, I've got something right here. See how you can see, yep, got a little, this is 12, that's 12 kilometers, so it's still in kilometers per hour. This does not have the cruise control. That's maybe one of the downsides to this, is you're going to have to keep your thumb down on the throttle the whole time, which isn't bad for shorter trips. Longer trips, your thumb's going to get a little tired, so it is nice that the GoTrax has the cruise control. This one does not have that, but you can see how good the light is on this. You know, I really like how the light is. Okay, you saw how the lights were. So Segway's got a little better lighting system. So I do like the GoTrax a little better. That's kind of my go-to scooter. My kids like riding the Segway a little better, just because it feels like a little bit smaller of a scooter. Handlebars are not as wide. As an adult with larger feet, I mean, I wear size 11 shoes. I feel my feet fit better on the GoTrax. I like the handlebars a little wider. I like the 2 mile an hour increase in speed that this has, and the cruise control. I think the only downside is just the cruise control it's helpful, but it's hard to engage it sometimes. It's hard to get a slower speed than the full speed. The battery life, yet to be seen. I haven't done a maximum range test on it. You know, I've just done a couple, 2-3 miles here and there, and it's done fine with that. But the fact that it has air-filled tires, that gives a little more of a cushioned ride. So if I would have to go with one of these, I would go with the GoTrax, because they're the exact same price. But I'm glad I have both, because my kids really like this. You know, kids, I have a 12, 11, and a 9-year-old that ride this one, and they really enjoy it, and they do good at it. And I don't have to worry about flat tires. But the GoTrax, I think, kind of edges it out in some of those features. If you're an adult, that extra 2 miles an hour does make a difference. The comfort, the ride, I think, is a little better. You have more room for your feet. The air-filled tires does make a difference. The cruise control is nice as well, especially if you're cruising long distances. Like I said, if I had to go with one, I'd go with the GoTrax because of, you know, the features I described. But if you're looking for one of these, hopefully this gives you some information when you're choosing one. And I'll do some updates as we use them more, as we go on some more adventures with them, how we use them, things like that, and how they hold up as far as the reliability, the parts, you know, seeing how they you know, if things don't break on it. I can see on this Gotrax here, this is kind of a flimsy back fender, and when you fold this down, the hook there folds down onto right there, and you kind of lift the scooter up by that. I can see that this could be a breaking point. And I hope that I don't have to get any flat tires, because changing this is probably not going to be that fun. But nevertheless, I'm glad I got this one. I really like riding them. They're super fun to ride around and great for the purposes that we got them for. So anyways, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll continue to update the channel with more of these scooter videos as we use them more. But until then, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.